Good morning. Easter Sunday, and this is Somerset News Network with Ian Summerall. I have had the oddest thing happen to me on social media this week. I've been making comments about the Trump treatment. Now, Trump thinks we ought to be using the quinine treatment with zinc and Z-Pak to treat people with the coronavirus. Now, this is mainstream news. He said it in his press conferences. I've been talking to doctors from Italy and doctors from America, and also watching some of the alternative news media, reliable source alternative news media on the internet. I found 2 scientific papers relating to the new coronavirus. Now, the first thing I found was a paper explaining the RNA, because the virus doesn't have DNA, it has RNA. And I might have said that wrong in an earlier video. But it's RNA, and they got the sequence of the RNA. And the scientific paper explains the difference between the bat coronavirus, the SARS virus, and this new COVID-19 virus. But the COVID-19 virus wasn't called that originally. Originally, it was called SARS, large C, little o, big V, 2. So it was SARS coronavirus 2. But that's not good PR. Because they don't want to tell you that we got SARS virus again, like it's something bad. So they've called it a new name, and they've called it COVID-19. Now, that scientific paper showed the RNA, and it showed that the new virus has 4 new letters added to it. My interpretation is that those 4 letters had been added, because we do and we can alter DNA now in laboratories. Therefore, we can alter RNA. Now, the press is trying to make out that it's a natural mutation. There was a report on the television here in the UK, and it said that it's a bat virus that's got into another animal that people have managed to catch, and it's mutated from the bat to a host to the humans. I don't wear that at all. I don't play that at all. It may be that this virus came from an animal, but I don't think it's a natural progression. That's my opinion. What we do know is that it started in Wuhan in China. And Wuhan in China has a level 4 bioweapons lab. And it's registered and links with the World Health Organization. Now, they tell us that this lab looks at trying to find vaccines for different types of viruses and bacteria. Now, if they are looking at cures, that means they must have the virus to start with. Now, the Chinese are telling us that it's the Americans that patented the virus. And looking at some of the YouTube videos, there was a professor, Francis Boyle, his name was, and he gave an interview to a video station. That's the only way to call it, on social media, a video station, that the thing is, Francis Boyle wrote the Bioweapons Act for President George Bush. So this guy has some knowledge of what he's talking about. But it's all been poo-pooed as fake news. Well, surely somebody knows what they're talking about around here. So, he says that there is a patent for a vaccine patented by the American government already on the books for this virus. So therefore, the Americans must have known what the virus was. Now, the Chinese say that the Americans have patented it. I can't find any proof of that yet, but I'm still looking. This is all... Then the Americans, of course, are blaming the Chinese. They're saying, oh, the Chinese had it, the Chinese were making a bioweapon and it's accidentally got out and all the rest of it. I don't know the truth. And I'm just trying to give you the best information that I have at this time. It may change. But we haven't got a cure for this disease. And they're talking about a vaccine. Well, they haven't got a vaccine for SARS virus. And the SARS virus is the same as this this COVID-19 is the same virus as the SARS virus with 4 added RNA letters. Now, there is a scientific paper that's been put out by the Chinese. It has not been peer-reviewed, but it's a discussion paper on who gets affected by the virus. They explain that there's different types of blood. We know you're an A, a B, an AB, or an O. And then you got plus and minus. They say that people with A blood type are more susceptible to this virus. They say that the people with O blood type are very unlikely to get the virus. I don't know if it's true, but this is a scientific paper and it says it. Now, what am I supposed to do? Say that it's a scientific paper that's come out of China, that's fake news. No, this is information that is out there. It's a reliable source, and I do it to open this discussion. I'm not saying I'm 100% right and you've got to do what I say. I am trying to create knowledge, to get the best advice I can, and to create debate. Is that not how a free society works? We've got the police going round now and fining people for sitting on the grass because they're allowed to exercise, which means they got to keep moving. But if they sit on the grass and enjoy the sunshine on their own, they're going to get fined. Now, I'm all for the lockdown, and I understand about social distancing to stop this virus. I'm got no problems with that at all. But why issue on-the-spot fines? I've got an argument with on-the-spot fines. There is an Act of Parliament of long time ago. 1689 it was written, and it's called the Bill of Rights. Yes, we have a Bill of Rights. And in there, one of the articles within the Bill of Rights, because the Bill of Rights was a declaration of rights to start with, then to bring it into law, they made it an Act of Parliament. So, one of the clauses on there, article says that grants and promises of fines before conviction are illegal and void. If a policeman sees somebody breaking the law, he becomes the policeman, the judge, and the executioner, issuing an on-the-spot fine all in one. I think that's wrong. I think if anybody is breaking the law, they ought to go up against a magistrate, because they have no right way of defending themselves. The police officer's word is now gone. It's like a Nazi state here. I just think it's wrong. I don't believe it's not British. Anyway, let's get off the Nazi UK for now. We'll be more about that later on, I hope, if I decide to do a video. Anyway, the social media. And the strangest thing happened to me. I've been explaining the information I have on little bits on Facebook. And I've been arguing with people. People believe what they see on the BBC and other mainstream media outlets. I've been looking at the wider picture and looking at treatments for it, what we can do. In India, they recommend taking vitamin D. This is true. There's a video on YouTube. You can see an Indian doctor explaining that you ought to have high doses of vitamin D to help you fight the virus. There are people that advocate taking vitamin C, which is in fruit and vegetables. Obviously oranges and lemons and things like that. But the only one that seems to work is the treatment for malaria. Now, I asked my doctor if I become ill with this SARS virus, if he can prescribe, and I'm not going to pronounce it, HCG, which is the malaria treatment with zinc and CPAC. I don't know what the CPAC is. We'll have to look that one up. But this is the Trump treatment. This is what they've been using in America. They tried it in the south of France, and it was linked with Stanford University in America. No reports on mainstream media about this. They had 100% success rate. And not a word on mainstream media. Why? I don't know. Frontline troops, the nurses and doctors, aren't getting the safety equipment they need to deal with patients. Why? There's a lot of information that we're not being told. Now, I believe that the mainstream media are reporting problems because they want to make the government look bad. I think the government are doing the right things. I think Boris and his friends have got doing the right things and saying the right things. Now, what if there are people in management, and that's the Civil Service and National Health Service, that want to make the government look bad? So they're not allowing this stuff to go through. They're either incompetent or creating bottlenecks to stop the equipment they need getting through by using bureaucracy. Now, I don't know. I'm only suggesting this. But there is a group of people who suggest that to save the planet, we have to reduce the numbers of the population. David Attenborough is one. He said that there's too many people and we need to reduce the population. Now, could it be that they think this SARS virus is one way of doing it? So the last thing they want is a cure for it. They're allowing people to die. That's wrong. That's wrong wherever you come from. These people are pure evil. This is what I'm trying to fight. I think the doctors and nurses are doing the best job they can. But, like I said, I was talking to my doctor and I wanted HCQ, this malaria drug, to treat me if I get the SARS virus. He said I'm not allowed to prescribe it. It's not licensed for COVID-19. So even if I get ill and I got a treatment that works, the doctor is not allowed to prescribe it to me. How crazy can we get? Why is it not licensed? Oh, we got to do the tests. Okay, that's the bureaucracy coming in. How long is it going to take? Could take 12 months, 18 months before it's okayed. Why? Because they want to kill people off. It's the only conclusion I can come to. Is the people who are in charge, the management, are willing to see people die and not give them a treatment that may work. Then mainstream media starts talking about the what's it called, the mainstream media start talking about the quinine treatment as affecting kidneys and may cause cancer. Well, I've got two anecdotal stories on that. A mate of mine's had malaria when he was working in the jungles. He was on one of these humanitarian aid things for Jean Frontier or whatever it's called. And he caught malaria. He takes quinine regularly. And he also takes gin and tonics. Why did they take gin and tonics? Because the tonic has quinine in it. And he's all right. He's had it for 20 years. He said if he gets a touch of malaria, if it comes back, he just takes a couple of quinine tablets and he's all right again. And meantime, just to sort of top him up, he takes the tonic water. But he says it's nicer with a bit of gin in it, he says. Now, the other anecdotal evidence I got is my mum. Now, my mum has one kidney. She was born with one kidney. And her kidney wasn't functioning properly, and she was becoming ill. So they're now trying to manage her. She's 84. She doesn't want to go on analysis. So what they're doing is they're trying to manage it and manage her diet to help the kidney. And one of the treatments they're giving my mum to help her kidneys is tonic water. Tonic water because it's got quinine in it. Quinine helps the kidneys function. So the fake news is not on social media. The fake news is on mainstream media. Do you understand what they're doing and what they're saying? They're all in this together. And it's becoming absolutely blatant obvious. All you've got to do is wake up and smell the coffee, as they say. We have a treatment for this COVID virus 19. And it's the Trump treatment. HCQ and zinc and CPAC. But we're going to find out what CPAC is. Anyway, this is Ian. I'm sorry I had to do this video. Sorry it's long. It's not normally as long as this. But I'm trying to explain why Facebook are now telling me that I've put comments that are wrong, comments that are misleading. Now, and it's almost as if I need re-educating. Now, where have I heard that before? 1984, re-education. What are they going to do? Come and take me away and put me in a camp? Because I don't believe the crap that they're telling us? I'm trying to help save lives. That's the important thing. And if the information is right, and if it saves lives, then I will say it. Do we not have free speech anymore in this country? Anyway, in Somerset News Network, signing off. And if you think I'm right or wrong, put a comment below. And